Non-Euclidean.
Do you want me to put it back? Do you want to use the Pathfinder alternating measure?
Sorry, we were just having a moment. Welcome back, attractive and well-educated watchers, to a brand new episode of The Frontier. A little side session. Here, this one's for Aldis, because he has got a mission. Little do most people know, but there are play-by-post roleplays in the background, and Aldis happened to be approached by the liaison of what he can only surmise is a genie, who will grant him a wish if he makes a temple for her. So, you know, there's that. Looks like he's starting to take her up on that. So, feel free to say hello, Aldis, and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Manase Skyrider playing Aldis Ronan, the Human Armor Artificer. And today, I'm definitely using the Infiltrator set.
Yes, he is, actually. He's also revamped some things about his armor for this particular thing. Because the most important part of this temple to make is to get the main altar area, which requires the sacrifice of a large, aka greater, water elemental. So he is going to try to do stuff for it. We think you're gonna... What are you gonna do? You're gonna put it in a box, you said?
Well, that's about the only thing I could think of. Originally, the idea was an arcane-locked box made of doors. Quite expensive to make this box, but it could trap a ghost. Or just a really big chest. Talking to Shy about this, we came to some rules that 5e really needs, which is damage thresholds for something smaller than an entire castle or an entire ship. So spending some time and some community resources, I have built just an iron box.
Yeah, it's a seamless iron box with a door on two sides of it, you know, so he can run straight through it, we guess. And he's gonna he will be making it in this episode, because apparently 3 inches of iron. He's using all of the community's iron, so the whole canyon is now officially out of iron, and now he's going to, in strict hypothesis, do more stuff. So we got a little bit of block text. We'll start with there. Fresh from your recent interaction with one of Jiya the Munificent's servants, you are aware that the most important part of this temple that she so desires for your ultimate mine that you want is the primary altar, apart from which you can build literally any other part of the temple and expand from a central point if need be. To fuel such a magical place that can be connected to what you can only surmise is a merid, you must get a greater water elemental, or better, and sacrifice it at the finished altar site. From there, you will have a direct connection to Jiya herself. To capture this elemental, however, you must be crafty, and have determined that it is necessary to make a big metal box within which to catch the thing. Unfortunately, you'll need to use the rest of the entire canyon's iron supply to make such an advanced and large thing. Then get some rubber to seal the 2 doors on either side of it, and also find something upon which to bring the box with you. You do take that iron, but you need to get rubber to seal the eventual doors of this so that the water elemental cannot get out. Unfortunately, the only people you know of who have rubber are the people of Chicheshalatololco, in the middle of the river, or of the lake. Ta-da! Wow!
Should I just go ahead and move to the canyon map?
Yeah, you know, you can if you want. The trip to Chicheshalatololco takes just over half an hour, as one of the ferry people that have arisen from your proximity to water is waved through by the relatively strenuous canoe patrol around the Moon and Star Islands, now home to the Chichesha. The Moon Island does not allow anybody on it, but as long as you stay in the well-maintained routes, you will not be harmed. The community, while comparably small, is still the largest in the canyon, and is working hard to get things properly taken care of, enjoying the explosive growth that the frontier provides, even as they struggle along a bit. Many of them wave, but most of them don't make much contact with you until you get to a small, but serviceable market by the docks. Here, many old dwarves peddle their scant wares, and otherwise try to ply their trade. And now you can do whatever the hell you want.
You, I don't remember if you mentioned this, sorry. How big is the Chichesha community?
500 people, just over.
Nice.
It's pretty spread out.
Well, then, right. Well, a good place to start is to start asking people where I can procure rubber from them.
And just so everybody remembers, he does speak Chichesha Dwarf, so... or Mountain Home Dwarven. So feel free to roll an investigation.
Lovely. 26.
It's pretty darn good. Not gonna lie. As you're wandering through the market, you talk about it. Most people do not have terribly much, but old man Hakayup has. Sorry, it's we don't know how to say those things. Old man Hakayup down by the dock normally sits in spends his time in a cave, and he's the guy who has all of the rubber that the community uses to keep their patrol boats properly floating. The actual rubber groves have not yet properly matured. And probably won't for a couple years.
I'll approach the man. If I can find him in the... You said he normally spends his time in a cave. If I can find him...
Yes, if I can find him... in a cave on by the shore, yeah.
If I can't find him here in the market square, then I'll go look for this cave.
Alright, well, he's not at the market square. Roll another investigation.
23.
Okay. Over the course of about an hour, many people you talk to direct you down the coastline to what would be the western shore of Star Island, wherein you find a small cave, just a little bit inland, with a little river running by it, a little creeklet running by it, and there you see a little fire inside. There's a man. He seems to be chewing on something as you get nearby.
I hail him. Greetings, can I speak with you?
Who are you? What do you want?
I think your microphone clipped. Can you repeat that?
Who are you? What do you want?
I'm looking to procure rubber for a large box.
Rubber?
It needs to be watertight.
Watertight? Well, of course, this is what rubber's for. Why you want it? What you pay for it? The patrolmen around here pay good money for that rubber, and I don't have much anymore.
I'll pay you exactly what is owed.
That's the problem. Exactly what is owed is a lot more than it would be back in Mountain Home, where the orchards grow 30 feet tall, and every tree produces a bit of drip every day. We don't have that here anymore. The figs haven't grown yet.
Well, let's start with the value, and Aldis will tell him exactly how much he needs.
How much you got?
A lot. He says, not giving a specific number yet. I need to pull these back up. So I've got with the money from the Frontier reimbursement, 20,000 gold. But other than that money, he's got 17 platinum and 60 something gold.
I want a ruby.
A ruby, you say?
A ruby. It needs to be as big as my fist.
Wow. So I want to, before we continue that, Shy, I do want to be clear. The wish was intended to be gems as well as ores and minerals. Was that part of the agreement?
You wanted the ultimate mine?
Yeah. So
one that will produce all manner of things whenever you might need them, or something like that.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, well, then hypothetically it'll have gems.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have any gems right now, but the reason that I need the rubber is for a very significant project that would give me access to such gems. I can't pay you those now. I could pay you in gold instead and give you the ruby later.
Cash on delivery. What else you got?
Well...
What's that? What's that thing on your shoulder? He points to MD5.
This? Yeah. Oh, this? He's not for sale.
Well, then my rubber isn't for sale.
Well, unfortunately, sir, I have to maintain him on a daily basis, or else he will deactivate.
How do you keep him alive?
With my magical essence. It's magic.
I know plenty of women with assets. You don't look like you got many.
I'm sorry?
Who strokes his beard and eyes you up and down. What makes you so special? Aside from your fancy medals. How does he work?
I'm an Huh?
How does he work?
Aldis will give an overly detailed explanation into the arcane theories and how he is able to manipulate the arcane to bond with his soul to create this creature, and the limitations of his ability to create these temporary magical innovations.
Seems pretty straightforward. I'll be able to take care of him. Hand him on over. I'll give you all of the rubber I have if you give me him.
Interesting. I'm just trying to think of the consequences of that in terms of the actual game mechanics. Because that's going to be one of my 3 infusions, and he's going to deactivate when I change infusions. Are you sure? Would I be able to retrieve my little invention here when I give you this ruby?
No. You're paying me for my rubber with that thing on your shoulder.
Well, I'm sorry, but I can't do that.
But I'm sorry I can't give you my rubber. Go back to Mountain Home. Week away.
Why can't I pay you in gold?
Because I don't want gold. I want a ruby the size of my fist. Or, right now, I want that thing on your shoulder.
Out of curiosity, the gem that is actually the heart of MD5's of MD5, the homunculus servant, is a gem, but it's only worth 10 gold pieces.
Yeah, that's not what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's not going to be enough.
No.
Not for.
Sorry, bro. You're hitting the coincidence of wants right now.
I do not know what these words mean.
We'll teach you later.
Okay.
Alright. So yeah, no, I want that thing on your shoulder.
This is going to be interesting, because I don't know what this is going to mean. Aldis is a little desperate right now, so... He'll hand over MD5. Let's see where this goes.
Alright. He takes MD5 and he turns him around and he opens up a little one of the little back panels that you've got on him and looks around inside and
sees a lot of weird arcane thread.
And then he reaches in and pulls one of the power threads out, and MD5 powers down. And he goes, I see. Indeed. I'm gonna have fun with this one, thanks a bunch. Here, I've got a crate of the stuff in the back. Just don't tell anybody I sold it to you, or else the entire town will be up in arms. And of course, I've saved a little bit for myself. I hope you don't mind.
We'll have to see whether or not I mind is whether or not what I have is enough for this project.
As he leads you back, you find a rather large crate, which will be more than enough. Probably enough for a few of these giant things. So you have several extra pounds, we'll say 20 extra pounds of rubber.
Wonderful. Into the bag of holding this will go. Into
Several
several crates and containers.
Yes, of rubber latex. So, yeah, you've got that. Congratulations, you are the owner of a bunch of rubber. Now you will need to roll a few things. First of all, you'll need to roll a carpenter's intelligence check so that you can make a cart big enough for this stupid crate to sit on.
24.
Congratulations! You've made a cart! It's pretty good. It strains a little bit. It's going to strain a little bit, but you're pretty sure it'll make the trip. Next, roll a Smith's Wisdom check.
Ooh, that's going to be interesting.
You need to be able to have a keen eye and perceive every potential crack in the entire structure as you put it together to make sure that it is as close to seamless as possible.
Would I be able to apply guidance to this part?
We're going to say yes.
Alright, I'll just go ahead and enable that before I roll.
We're only mostly saying yes because we're not, Alright. Oh, also, you do get advantage on that, we believe we told you.
Oh, okay. Also, I don't think it applied the guidance. I have to look at the thing real fast. Okay, now it did.
Okay.
So the first one was a 13, this one was a 17, and there we go.
Alright.
Yep, plus
so,
6 from
you
expertise,
24?
plus 1 wisdom. That's
all
all
right. At the very end, you finish applying the rubber, and you think it's good. You think that you're going to be able to take care of it. But where are you going to find a water elemental?
That is the biggest question of them all.
Roll an investigation.
Ooh.
With disadvantage.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun!
That is a 20, and I'm going to apply Flash of Genius for another 5.
Alright. Well, fortunately, within that same day, you hear the Chichesha talking about their kin in the north, where they say that the Black Claw Bear and the Drying Water make their territory. So we shall go to the canyon map north. As you trek north above the canyon, you see that the main river is dried out, though light rains have recently moistened it. Either roll an Arcana or a Nature, if you so desire.
Let's see here. 17.
It's a bit dry, but nothing seems unreasonable. That being said, a path toward the eastern highlands is dried out and leads to a section of the cliffside that has collapsed and left a relatively smooth zigzag up to the top. Here, no plants grow, and the path, while stable, is dusty and dry. Terribly dry. The area is extremely verdant and healthy outside of the path, but everywhere the path goes, easy to follow, you suppose, the land is dry and the plants are dead. Ahead of you...
Is that this region?
That is... yeah, that's going up, so you... Oh, whoops, sorry. So you cross up at about here.
Gotcha.
That's where the really shallow switchback, we'll say, is. One moment. Ahead of you, to the northeast, you can make out a glob of forest that has become dried out. Gigantic megatrees in a great circle rise over 100 feet above the already impressive forestation, forming the rim of a nearly 2-mile-wide clearing. But they are dead and dry, and bear no leaves or nuts, fruits or flowers. Within the clearing, you need only to follow the trail to find where the drying water is. Your keen perception picking up on its presence from nearly 500 feet away as it is draining the water from some gigantic tree. Nearly 15 feet tall with a gigantic base section, this monstrous entity whips around two giant whitewater arms which switch flow back and forth along the length of them while its body loosely resembles an anthropomorphic tidal wave. Fortunately, it doesn't seem to have noticed you, and you are able to carefully hide your cart and thus your trap in a safe location nearby to lead the elemental to. After letting the donkeys go for safety, you're able to get the doors open, and the opportunity is yours. So, yes, you are exactly in that thing, and we will switch to the drying water. Yes, good, good. So, here is the water elemental all the way down to the bottom. You may approach however you like, but first and foremost, roll a stealth.
Wonderful. 25.
Ooh, 25. Okay, well, feel free to position yourself around. It is draining this here tree, as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, position yourself wherever you want to. It does not appear to know you are there.
Well, wonderful then. I will be, before getting into any altercation here, any combat, casting Longstrider.
Yes, so you move 10 feet faster for an hour.
Yep. And I was going to do Sanctuary. I think I'll hold off on that.
Okay.
Then, in the meantime, Aldis is a curious boy, so he is going to get up as close as he can just to watch it for a few minutes. You know, maybe take some notes before he decides to capture and sacrifice this thing.
Roll a nature or an arcane.
And I will use Flash of Genius for another 5 on that.
We'll let you move up there.
Wonderful.
Okay, for another 5, you use your Flash of Genius, and that's actually good enough. It appears to be sucking the water out of the tree as it burrows into it. It may have sucked all of the water out of all of the plants in this seemingly dead clearing. Now only grass is able to grow fast enough to keep up with it. As it stands there, you can only surmise that the reason it wants more water is maybe there's some kind of effect on it, and you'll also notice that the water is particularly frothy, as though the water itself is not purely water. Roll a perception. The water coming out of the trees or the water of the elemental? Of the elemental. Roll a perception if you really want to.
Heck yeah. 18.
It smells salty in the air around it.
Interesting. I am not really sure what that means.
Salt takes water away. In the magical mumbo-jumbo nonsense, maybe it's been cursed with some kind of wilting effect. You couldn't say. But it seems to need to take water from the trees around it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
If it's cursed, it might not be a very good sacrifice, so I would need to figure out what is afflicting it before I can capture it.
Well, or after you capture it, one way or the other.
That's a good point,
What will you do? Will you throw a rock at it?
I mean, I've got the lightning launcher.
Will you shooty it with your unibeam?
Yeah, I think I will. I'll figure out what's wrong with it later. Can't really figure it out when I can't observe it up close.
Indeed. Shoot it. Do what you're gonna do then.
All right. 421.
421. That hits it.
I'll just do the 9 damage. I'm not trying to kill it after all. I'm not dealing the extra damage. Just want to piss it off.
Alright. Alright. That still sucks for it. It immediately knows you're there and goes... As you might imagine.
If only I spoke comprehend languages.
Yeah, do you speak Aquan?
No, I do not.
Oh, jeez. Well...
Closest I've got is Sylvan, which isn't really close at all.
Not close at all, is it? Alright, well, in that case... would you mind putting up the initiative tracker? Because we're the dumb. Alright, in that case... he got a 6. Did you just roll a 1 for initiative and still get a 15?
It's advantage. If you hover over the thing, it says 1 and 13. The UI for it is not built for... The initiative built-in thing doesn't really know how to do an advantage on initiative, even though there are magic items for it.
Cool. Put Water Elemental 6 on it if you don't mind. Yay! It's your turn.
Wonderful.
It's very angry.
Well, I have 45 foot of move, so... Let's see. Its maximum range would be something like this, because I know all about this sort of thing. Wonderful. I am going to move... Here. 42 feet.
Alright.
And that will be my turn.
And yes, you are correct. That is, as a matter of fact, its maximum move, as it torrentially charges towards you going... And it's your turn.
Wonderful. Alright, so... This is going to be a little weird on the diagonal.
Yeah, we weren't going to make it easy.
Yeah, we weren't going to make it easy. Alright, well it should be a 2x2, so the diagonal will be something like this. So, okay. So then to get its maximum movement... Because Aldis can do all this math in his head. He's going to need it to be right here.
He actually has a good enough intelligence. He probably could do it all in his head.
Pretty much. So he's going to need to move to about right here.
Where?
About right here. So the diagonal is something like here, then the entrance is here. So the elemental will be on one of these two tiles.
Well, move whichever direction you're going to move.
Well, no, so I'm moving here, so that when it now charges me, it will be that at its maximum distance.
Oh, so are you moving up to the thing?
So this measurement is seeing how far it would move to then run out of speed when I close the door on it.
Okay. Yeah, it would be like 1 dash and 1 move.
Right, I wanted to end my turn here so that it would have no movement. Meanwhile, with my... I would need to dash, so I couldn't wait for it on that turn. Okay. I'm going to move... Okay, how far is my 45? Probably should have done all this ahead of time, but...
Remember that this thing can't... You know that this thing can stop in your square. And if it does, you're in trouble.
Potentially. Probably. So... I'm going to stop here.
Going to stop there.
We'll just say rounding up, or rounding down, because that's 46 movement, so we'll just say that one.
It'll put it right next to you.
Wonderful.
Alright. So, it gets there, and it has dashed now, so it can't do anything. At least that we know of. No. No, okay. Yeah, you're good. It stops there. It's all charging at you all crazy-like.
Beautiful, beautiful. Then, in that case...
You think you can get to right here?
Yep. I'm going to do exactly that. Try and lead it in through me.
Alright.
And then that is my movement, and then my action will be to slam the door as soon as it comes up in front of me. My readied action.
Alright. We are going to make a roll.
Is this a roll like it's theoretically silvery barbs?
Yes.
Is that the 3? Oh, no.
Okay, so it follows you right on your tail, and then enters into... One moment. Into, the thingy. Instead of being smart, we rolled for it. We rolled an intelligence check for it, save for it, to see if it would run in or if it would just take a straight line approach to you. But it was close. It was pissed off enough. Your turn now as it comes in.
So this is the readied action to slam the door.
Yes, because it is dashing at you. But as soon as it enters that thing, you can interrupt that with your action.
Right. So then that would be the part then where I go all the way around and close the other door.
Well, you can use your telekinetic shove to do that.
Oh, yeah. Well,
when your turn comes around.
Right.
Right. So you held your action, and then you closed the door, and then its turn... It has spent all of its move. It can't move out anymore because it was running towards you to hit you because you were only 30 feet away. So actually, it wasn't dashing, but it has used its move. And now it's your turn again.
Then I will go ahead and use my telekinetic to pull the door, which would presumably automatically.
It does. It's automatic. It is automatic. The door is closed. But the doors are not arcane locked.
Right.
Which means it's the Water Elemental's turn, and you're against one of the doors. So, Water Elemental has a strength score. Yep. It's not small. And it will slam itself against the door. Feel free to yourself roll a opposed strength.
Straight strength. This is going to be fun.
Strength, whatever. Strength save.
Would it be athletics?
Yes, athletics works.
Okay, then it's going to be another 3 to that roll. And, I cannot add enough bonuses onto this.
One moment.
I can't see it to apply silvery barbs. The door is solid.
Well, one moment. Attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. It technically beat you, so you could technically make it roll again if you wanted.
Alright, because it would be... Alright. Is this going to print the way I want it to? Oh yeah, that's right, I don't... EU roll, not me, so it doesn't need to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was less, but it wasn't less enough. And as you are pushed back 1 square, it pushes out 1 square, and now it No, come on, man. Don't be like that. And you've got to be joking, dude. One moment. We're having a very hard time with this stupid water elemental. Okay, so it pushes out one square, and it's in your square right now as it smashes down on top of you. And... oh my god, why? We're just trying to navigate this fucking site. Oh my god. Okay, let's try this again.
Hold on a second. Let me fix something. Let me put something else on the map layer that was forgotten. There we go. The arrows, I need to put those in the map layer too.
Okay. So now it is on top of you. We believe you are officially in its element, in its space. Oh no, this is an action. Okay, sorry. So he is all up on ya. Okay?
Yep.
He's all up on ya. It's your turn.
Wonderful.
Your trap did not work. He pushed his way out of it before you could, get the door shut properly.
Well, plan B. Gonna move it aside so I can move my token.
Right.
I will take whatever opportunity attacks are necessary, and I will go inside the box. And I will, with my action, arcane lock the door on this side.
Are you locking yourself in the box?
Only one of the doors so far. But there's the arcane lock for the chat purposes. I will be arcane locking this door.
So you can't get through it.
Yeah, so now only one of the doors I have to worry about.
So it's you're done?
Yep, that is my turn. That is my movement and my action, and I'm not going to use my bonus action for this.
Wayman, it goes back in. We don't know what to tell you. It splorches back in, and it whelms you. Do
you want to do the opportunity attack first?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Sure. What's its attack slammy boy plus 8, 2d8 plus 5. Okay. So let's a natural 20. So yeah.
Let's try silvery barbs again.
Are you gonna do that? Do you want to do that?
Yeah, let's not do the crit.
Fair.
This is my version of I Cast Shield.
That's a very good version of I Cast Shield. Well, we doubt that 12 hits you. So it does not slam you.
And I will be choosing myself for the advantage on the next attack, save, or check.
Right, as you do. So it moves in, and then it spends its action to try to whelm you. You must roll a DC 16 strength save throw.
Wonderful. Watch me fail this with advantage. 19.
All right. One moment. On a failure, you are pushed out of the elemental's space. And that's it. You were successful. It tried to whelm you. It could not. You are pushed out of the elemental space.
Wonderful result.
It tries to squeeze on you. One moment. Yeah, it tries to squeeze on you, and you just slurp right out. Congratulations.
I have been birthed anew.
You have been birthed anew. Okay, it's your turn. Since the only available square is where you were out that door.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, gonna close the door and then use my action to arcane lock this one.
You may do just that. Yes. That's pretty funny, actually. Alright, so long story short is we do not believe it actually can do it because the damage threshold for all of the box is higher than it can do damage. So, for a little bit, it slooshes and sloshes and whooshes around, and then the cart collapses under the weight of, 74,765.196 pounds of water.
Absolutely wonderful. So,
Yup, your cart has collapsed, but you have captured a water elemental. How are you going to get it back? The many miles home.
Let's see here. Well, it is well beyond the weight limit for levitate, so I'm not going to be able to float it with a rope up style home.
No, you will not.
Far too large for a bag of holding.
Far too large for a bag of holding in all dimensions and weight.
Alright, time to get medieval.
You got it, don't ya?
Time to find a nice healthy tree and create a series of logs upon which to roll this thing downhill.
Or at least wherever you want, portage style, we suppose.
Yeah. Gonna have to do this Egyptian style, the way they rolled blocks of stone across the desert.
2 seconds. So this crate is around 38 tons. Fun fact.
That's a lot.
So we're gonna have to ask you. We know you have the manpower to do this, but we are going to have to ask you to make... Oh, let's see what skills you have at your disposal.
I've got carpenter's tools now.
You're not really working on terribly much. We're gonna have to ask you to make a persuasion. With advantage, because you are a dwarf, and you are asking your dwarven kinsman to help you drag this 38-ton weight back.
17.
That's a really, really heavy thing you're asking them to bring back. Do you have, like, any extra money? You know, a gold piece for everybody in the town would help them get it back to you today.
Not gonna lie, I should have prepared enhanceability to give somebody extra carry strength. But my spell preparation is already set, so I will take that L.
Should have used enhanceability to enhance your fucking charisma. Make yourself more persuasive to your people. Yeah, if you give each person in your population a gold piece, they will band together and they will get you that thing back.
Alright, I'm gonna have to figure out the exact number of that, but I have enough gold.
You do have enough gold. We know that. It's just, you know, it's gonna cost you.
Yep.
Like 5 times the average going rate of unskilled labor. So, also, roll a carpentry tools. Intelligence.
23. Man,
Great,
that tool expertise is doing so much for me.
It was actually a super easy one. You just have to position them right. It takes all day, and it takes you have to really, really mind that bridge, because the bridge was never meant for tonnage like that. But you do get it to Dalnama. You do need to choose where you want your temple on the walls of Dalnama, the cliff walls, but otherwise you have it. You might want to roll Mason's Tools. We'd say Mason's Tools Charisma.
Interesting
With advantage. Choice. You are making the altar pool and area.
24.
Very nice. Very nice. It is a highly impressive altar space and pool. And you are sure that once you sacrifice this potentially evil thing, it was, kind of sucking all the water out of everything, that you will be able to have a functioning altar to revere Jiya at. Or at least for which other people might revere her. Yes.
Aldis kind of has his own religious background stuff that we haven't really delved into. That has also only recently been started before. Right. Not gonna lie.
Well, are you going to do anything special? Spend any extra money on this altar? Or are you just gonna move straight to the fucking sacrifice?
I would kind of love to figure out what curse was afflicting it in case... I have a feeling that might matter.
Roll an arcane with advantage, because it's back in your lab.
I'm going to Flash of Genius this one, too.
How many of those do you have?
I get 5 per day.
Damn. Okay.
Int mod bonus, int mod times per day.
Clearly, this elemental was created with a spark of negative energy in it. Meaning that it is more closely connected with the quasi-elemental plane of salt, which seems to dry it up. For that matter, you think that this water elemental might not actually be able to go into large bodies of water. Otherwise, it might discorporate completely, which is rare among most water elementals. You don't know why, but it is still perfectly good for the sacrifice. It's very powerful.
Perfectly good for the sacrifice, huh?
Perfectly good for the sacrifice, and it cannot do enough damage in any given strike to get out.
I mention all of this to would I be able to let me phrase this. Is Jiya or any of her representatives going to be a part of this ceremony, or is this like the sacrifice brings her to me?
The sacrifice brings her to you. Although her representative you could probably call him. We don't remember what his name is right now, but you might.
I want to double check with him first. Want to be safe rather than sorry on this one.
He thinks that it's a perfectly good sacrifice for a temple altar.
Well, if it works for him, it probably works for Jiya, so let's go through with it. The prices we pay building an altar to a genie of all things. To be
a temple to a genie, really.
A temple with an altar to a genie. In order to bring about the ultimate wellspring, the ultimate mine of resources for my artifice.
That's kind of what you're doing. I mean,
the things we must do. First, my people ally with a fire dragon. They learned forge making from them, or so the legend goes. Now we're sacrificing elementals to genies. We live by the forge. We die by the forge. We run.
I guess so. All right. So make a relevant spellcasting check.
Intelligence check.
Make a relevant spellcasting check with disadvantage.
Ooh. Follow-up. Proficiency?
Yes.
Alright, then I'll click the save button.
You could even say it's a saving throw. Yeah, absolutely.
Use my fourth flash of genius on this one for another to bring that up to 21. I refuse to roll anything less than a 20 if I can help it.
Okay, well, you got over 20, so you don't take any backlash damage as you open the gate and sacrifice it. And you are covered in the waters of the elemental as they flood over you as you thrust forth the magical dagger of sacrificing water elementals to Jiya, which was made on site, of course, as you do.
Of course.
And then it floods over you and then falls back into the recess of the pool, which glows grandly, and out from it comes a 7.5-foot tall, curvaceous woman of blue skin with long, braided hair that flows off of her head like a waterfall off of a cliffside. Her eyes, like sapphires, stare down at you, and she says, "I'm so glad you've decided to take my offer. Thank you so much for this. And seeing this glorious altar that you've already made me, I trust that you will be expanding this temple."
As much as is required.
Wonderful. Then perhaps my good friend and servant here, and she gestures to the neon red and black poison dart frog person, may draw up another contract for your continued service in exchange for a wish right now, if you so desire. For I am now here, and there is no reason to delay for such a fantastic story, now is there?
Well, I prefer to get this over with. I've got other matters to attend to, and you can never keep an artificer. An artificer is always busy inventing.
Do you have the detect traps spell, by the way?
I don't even think that's on their spell list.
Is it? Wow, actually, we would think that detect traps would totally be on an artificer's spell list. It's just because you can actually use detect traps to find for contracts to find like trap clauses and stuff like that in them. That being said, roll an intelligence save. Yeah.
Also, no, it is not, of all things. Oh my! I'm gonna use my last flash of genius on that one. Let's at least bring that up to a 14 and pray that helps.
The contract seems perfectly safe.
Well, time to find out if I'm going to suffer the repercussions of my idiocy or not.
Do you sign your name to it?
Why not? In the words of Sebastian Crow, what could possibly go wrong?
Alright. And as you sign your name to the contract, and it gets rolled up into a scroll and clapped into non-existence by the guy who seems to be able to literally just clap his hands and like summon scrolls from the center of them, not unlike a Hollywood magician.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's don't think it's like a super magical thing he's doing. It's like literally indistinguishable from like New Vegas fucking prestidigitation or whatever. Trick. Yeah, no, he's totally like stage tricking all over the place. But otherwise, he seems very reserved. You might have noticed. But he's really all about that stage magic game. He's a monk, by the way. So it's a little out of it's a little out of character for his kind of people. But that's just him, you know. And so he claps the scroll away, and she says, "It's always such a pleasure doing business with properly ambitious individuals. I promise. You will profit from this." And she snaps her fingers, and the voice, "If you survive it," finishes off before she disappears, and the ground begins to shake. The world around you starts to tremor, Dust falls from the ceiling, and you find yourself running on feet that you can't quite control to the salt mine, where dwarves are rushing out from the doors and fleeing the cliffside as you find yourself running deeper and deeper in to the rear of the mining zone, turning to the left into the cavern where the main salt pocket is. You see a portal, a tear in reality, and there the tear in reality leads to a picture of gemstones and ore and black metal and white metal and all manner of riches that all dwarves cherish. And that is the end of the episode! Ha-ha! So, with that, we think we're going to finish up the episode. If everybody likes what they saw, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment, share, blah, 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 blah. Aldis, Anase, feel free to say goodbye.
Monkey's Paw? Let's pray I don't get swarmed by elementals. Let's build a door around this, just to be safe.
Probably a good idea. Bye!